channel. My name is SIMS and I'm building an apartment for the vampire sim, which I uploaded a video of me making last week. I did try to film the whole of the build. I did the layout first, which you haven't seen, and the kitchen layout, which I actually struggled quite a lot with because of the shape of the kitchen, but I thought it was recording and it wasn't. So this is where the video starts. I did have not a hidey hole, a serving hatch, that's what it's called, a serving hatch in the kitchen, because I thought with the vampire sim, I did think it was quite traditional. I know some people will have them and they don't look too modern. Right now, this one is looking very modern with the light above it. I did try to use cabinets instead, but it wouldn't work because I think I had the walls there in the wrong place. But I do actually change this, not on camera. I went back after watching the video through because I did not like how modern the lights looked compared to the rest of the build, because the rest of it is very traditional and dark and it just really did not fit in. So I went back and changed the lights to cabinets later on. I do like the shelves underneath it though, because I quite like adding little bits to the builds, and it's just a place where I could put loads of just little things instead of, like crowding up the counters so they couldn't really be used. Sorry for this video being a bit late because I actually recorded on Friday, but I didn't get round to doing the voiceover that night. And then I was busy all over the weekend because I am a cadet in the Air Cadet organisation, and I was actually on my Bronze Duke of Edinburgh expedition all weekend. And then when I got back home on Sunday, I was so tired and I just went straight to sleep and didn't have any time to do this voiceover. I'm trying to keep more active on my channel, but I have induction days this week until Thursday for 6th form because I've just finished year 11 on my GCSEs. And then Friday is my prom, and on Sunday I have wing parade and wing field day, again with the Air Cadets, in which I'm part of the drill team, so I'll have a practice Saturday morning as well. But I will try to record after my induction days all this week and after drill practice on Saturday. I don't know what's going on next week. I might have a bit more time, but I do know that next Sunday I'm going on holiday with my family to Greece for 2 weeks, so I might also be quite inactive during those weeks as well, unless I manage to pre-record some videos for during that time, which I will try to during next week when I am home, because I do want to be a bit more active on my channel. I also want to try and set up my TUMBLR with the CC that I am using in my Create Sims. But anyway, back to the build. I wanted it to keep it really dark because obviously vampires are supposed to not like the light, so all of the lights in the end are candles, apart from obviously that light that is there over the serving hatch, which I do get rid of off camera. And I put curtains over all the windows. I did want to use the new vampire curtains, but it just really wasn't working. They wouldn't fit on the big apartment windows, which I probably should have considered when choosing the lot, but I was looking more at the size instead, so I went with this one. But I did have, I think they're all black curtains. They might be some red ones in the vampire private section, I don't know, but all the windows are covered because I just thought it was more vampire-like. There are a few traditional paintings on the walls as well. It's very dark, or it's all brick or quite traditional looking wallpaper all throughout. A lot of it is very red and black, apart from the 2 rooms I do at the end, which we'll come to. I wanted the vampire area to be quite secluded, I suppose, so the door to it is obviously sort of behind a pillar next to the fireplace, and like it's just not really very visible at all. So I just thought it was a bit more private for the vampire to reside in her real, bedroom. But out here it is dark because she's got quite a dark personality, but also it could still be a human house. So there would be no suspicion. I didn't know what to do with a lot of the space because once I started building, I realised the apartment was a lot bigger than I thought it was. Originally, I did not realise how huge it was for a single person apartment, especially a vampire, since they don't really need a big room with a double bed. But I think I used all the space quite well, although I did not know what to do with the other room next to the hallway. I think I made it an extra sitting room in the end. And also I did want to use a few different types of chairs and things, but I just felt that some of it wasn't really going, and so I did end up using a lot of the same stuff. I keep these two rugs there next to each other for quite a long time, but I end up getting rid of the one because I just didn't know what to do with rugs in this apartment really. Like, none of them were really fitting for me, and I didn't like these two, how they're overlapping. It's just too much. They're also quite modern in their shape. I didn't like them. But there's all the candles. I've got loads of the little incense things everywhere. Here I was trying to get an incense thing in a specific place, but it would just kept placing it in the wrong place. Eventually I do get tired and I just undid it all. But they do have a few dotted around, and I thought these urns, they were quite mysterious and sort of subtle in a way, like they're sort of maybe her victims on display in her living room, but no one realizes it. I thought that was quite cool. I have got quite a lot of empty wall space looking back now, but there are not many sort of photo pictures that came with vampires, I don't think, that would really go with the theme I'm trying to do. They are all quite traditional, but I've used the majority of them. This is the vampire section. I think this is my favourite part of the apartment. It's all really dark, and I've got a bathroom there, even though I've realised that vampires don't actually need to use the toilet, which is really weird considering they do drink instead of eat, but I think they do still need to shower. I'm not entirely sure, but I've got it there just because I do think they need to shower sometimes. And then I've got a few things dotted around, like that picture of the vampire and the werewolf coming out of the wall. I wanted to put some curtains over the picture, but they just wasn't, the vampire ones, they just weren't working again. Like, I didn't end up using them anywhere in the apartment, I don't think, because they just weren't working. Like, these ones were working a lot better, and I mean, the colours, they went, because it's all red. And oh, there's quite a few. I don't know if I overused the wall light candle things, but I mean, I did need some light in the apartment to be able to see, although it is still really dark in there because obviously it's a vampire, and I've covered up all the windows. Here is where I was running out of things to put on the wall. I found that it's a tapestry, and I really liked that. Like, I thought it went really well in the space. Sort of like a worshipping. I don't really know. I just really liked it for the apartment. I'm just putting random photos up now and random things like dotted around. Just sort of, I don't know, not possessions, just statues. Really just like weird vampiric things. I still can't say that word from the last video. I've got some more different types of candles in there. There's all different types of like incenses and things dotted around the house. Oh, I put those scales there because I thought they looked quite cool with the vampire things and the maps, the scrolls. I don't know. I put in another tapestry because I just need something to put on that wall. And in this room, it's sort of like a library because the vampire She is actually a genius. I gave her that trait, so I thought I'd give her a library to go with it. The video's getting really laggy now. It's probably because I spent a few hours making this and my computer was getting really hot by this point. This room is actually based quite a lot around the sundial, which is in the middle of the room, because I thought like it's quite a good idea to have a sundial in a vampire apartment so she can sort of look at, I don't know how sundials work, but I assume that you look at it and you're able to tell like the time and where the sun is. I don't know if you actually have to have sun on it to do that. I don't know how it works, but I just thought if she could track the sun, then she could know when she can go out and when she has to stay in, without actually having to look outside and risk getting burned. Because I know in the game vampires don't actually get burned if they're inside and there's big windows letting the sunlight in, but I just think it's more realistic if we think so. I put in a chess table because obviously she's a genius, so I assume she'll want to build her logic skill because that would go really well with her genius trait. The hallway I didn't know what to do, so I just painted the walls, and I think I did end up putting something in there later on, like a painting, not much at all really. The bathrooms I did not put much effort into, I don't think, because I did try, but I don't know, I don't know, the vampire stuff game pack, it did come with some bathroom items, and I really wasn't feeling the space, I don't know. I put some pipes in there because the rest of the house is all pretty sort of classy and it's all traditional, but I thought maybe in her bathroom she could let it go a little bit, have, you know, the radiator on the wall and some pipes, just, you know, a bit more casual because no one sees this part of her house. It's all tucked away. This is the other section where I actually finally realised that wallpaper did come in other colours other than red, so I started to use purple instead. I did look to see if I could change the colours of the main living space, but I did think that it looked quite nice in red and I didn't really want to change that because I thought red, it does go with the whole vampire theme. So this bedroom, she's not going to use this bedroom to sleep in because obviously she sleeps in a coffin, but I just thought if someone visits her house and, you know, they just wander into her bedroom, then it would be like what they thought was her bedroom, because if they asked like where's the bedroom and she didn't have like a model one, she wouldn't really know what to say. Also maybe if she brought, I don't know, a human man back to her apartment, because, you know, then, she wouldn't want to reveal, you know, what she really is. And I don't think a vampire can woohoo in a coffin unless it's with another vampire. So I think she would need a bed anyway, I think. So yeah, that's why that's there. But it's just sort of an area which she won't really use, but it does need to be there. And then this, I put it in green. I just look quite weird, the apartment, because everything is in black and red. It's quite a tight colour scheme, which I know some people don't like, but I do like it. I like everything to be the same colour. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, really. I like it all to be the same. So this room is all green and the bedroom was all purple and the rest is all red, which it does look a bit weird from the top, but I like it. So, you know. And I struggled with the layout of this room as well, because it's quite a weird shaped room, and I know I wanted a desk in here, but I didn't know how to place the sitting area, because in the main sitting area there's no TV or computer or any electronics really, so they're all in this room. There's no windows in that room at all, I don't think, so I did not have to worry about curtains, but there are all the candles around to keep it nice and light for the visitors. And that is the end of the build. as you will see it. There are minor changes here. You will see where I have changed the light above the serving hatch to cabinets there in that screenshot. Did I change a few other things? I can't really remember. That was the main thing I remember changing. Oh yeah, I didn't furnish the second bathroom because there is another one in her fake bedroom, but I furnished that off camera because I don't think you really need to see that anyway. But this is the end of my video now, so thank you for watching. I will upload this to the gallery soon if I work out how to upload an apartment. Please subscribe and bye!